Whilst, of course, we focus on the talents and the performances of the drivers, the 2022 Porsche Carrera Cup Asia is all about teamwork. And this year we have a record-breaking 14 teams registered for the prestigious Dealer Championship.
太棒了！作为保时捷的人，毫无疑问，保时捷是一个生于赛道的品牌，所以对我而言，没有什么比可以来到赛道上面和这么多车队、赛车以及公路跑车一起度过一个周末来得更美妙的事情了。所以今天非常期待，我也是本人第一次来到天津 V1 的赛道，非常期待我们所有车队和车手今天精彩的发挥。
A new day and a new challenge as round 4 for the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2022 is just around the corner. In round 1, Leo Ye took the win and strengthens his hold at the top of the overall classification, with Daniel Lu Wenlong breaking free into second position ahead of Lin Kang for BT Group in third, Liu Qilo and Yuan Bo making up the top 5. In the Pro-Am Championship table, Lu Wei has extended his lead for R&B Racing over Bao Xinlong for Team Shanghai Honda. But behind him, 3 drivers are just 10 points apart. In third, Min Heng, fourth, Zhou Beiwang, and Hong Shuzhe in 5th position. That late race pass by Tang Robin on Eric Kwong was very important in the AM Championship. It was 1 point of a lead. It's now 4 points, the gap between first and second. And Eric Kwong has to look over his shoulder because Henry Kwong is back on form and only 10 points further back. Then it's Jackie Wu and Zhu Xiao. We're on the grid an hour earlier than yesterday. The sun hasn't quite come up as far. That means the temperature is a wee bit lower in the air than yesterday, but it's much lower on the track, and that will please the Michelin tyre engineers. 15% chance of rain. I prefer to say 85% chance it's going to be dry. So here's how they'll line up for round 4. Lin Kang on pole position for PT Group. Remember, Liu Ye had a lap disallowed. That's why he's in second. Daniel Lu Wenlong once again in third, from Zhou Beiwang in fourth. Liu Qilo in 5th in the number 99. Yuan Bo in the 718, hoping for a better start, I think, this time. Then Choi Yue in the 7th position. Liu Wei in 8th is the best of the Pro-Ams. Bao Xinlong in 9th, Zhou Beiwang in 10th. In 11th, Min Heng and Bian Ye in 12th position for Team Shanghai Honda. Following the rest of the teams through, let's look for the AM class leader. It is pole position for Climax and Tang Robin, 15th overall. That's great for his championship hopes. Eric Kwong down in 18th position in the Kiddie World Car. Francis Cha further down the field. Li Chao well out of position, and Jackie Wu in 22nd. Lin Kang on our left of picture must get a better start this time, and no, he hasn't. He's bogged down again at the start, and once again the championship leader in the 777, Liu Ye and Chunxi Racing's gone through, and now Lin Kang has been punched off at the first corner. There was one of the Toro Racing cars in there as well. Oh, that's the absolute worst start for the pole sitter, and he's blown another chance. Through goes Chunxi Racing's Liu Ye, and he's been gifted that. He didn't even have to fight for it. He's pulled away already, got what, 5 or 6 cars lengths away from the rest of the field. There's damaged cars at the back of the field as well. Oh my goodness me. Yuan Bo, well, at least he pretty much stayed on the track in the 718. But my goodness, Liu Ye must be smiling under his racing helmet. Big lot up there by, that's Choi Yue, who went very wide at turn number 11, and that's going to cost him a position to Lu Wei in the purple and black number 4. He's the leader in the Pro-Am category. Well, Toyue's managed to recover and keep that position. Ewan Bohr just sneaking around the back of the spoiler there in that red, white and black number 718. But what a mistake at the beginning. Lin Kang for BT Racing Group on pole position. Well, he's tried it from either side of the front row of the grid and he hasn't managed to get that Porsche 992 Carrera Cup car off the line. And he's way down here. Might even have a wee bit of damage as well. One of the Shanghai Hyundai cars locking up in the background there. So one with the red mirrors, I think that was Bajin Long, who was back down through the field. Well. Liu Ye, he's been driving so well, you don't need to give him any opportunity. Top 3 breaking away. It's Daniel Lu Wenlong in the black and blue car in 3rd position. Decent little scrap going on there behind Toyue in the number 86 Porsche Holding. That's the black, red and gold car. Here's the leaders, 1st and 2nd. Daniel Lu Wenlong goes to the right, goes to the left, sticks to the left, trying to go around the outside. That is a big manoeuvre. Zheng Zhendong starting from their best starting position for the racing team. It's similar to English, as we would say, he. It's meant to be laughter, a chuckle, if you will. And he's, at the moment, giggling a little bit because he's holding on to that 2nd position as the vastly experienced Daniel Lu Wenlong is putting massive pressure on. Then there's a little gap back to 4th, 5th and 6th. Daniel moving right, moving left as they come back onto the permanent race circuit. He's now alongside. This might work. Was there a touch there? I think there was. Coming into turn 16. Side by side again. No doubt to me that Daniel has got a grip advantage. I wonder if he saved some tyres. Tyres are not an infinite resource here. He's gone through into 2nd. That was a hard fought pass. Now back to the start. Lin Kang got an awful start. Already the 777 is ahead and then he gets hit from behind. So who was it? It was Daniel Lu Wenlong that hit him from 3rd position and goes off the track. That might get a penalty for Daniel, actually. Get away with a little bit more on the first couple of corners of a race, but that was quite stout impact there, and Daniel continued off the track. He's now up into 2nd place, ahead of the 233 of Zheng Zhendong. That's the battle we're looking at now. The white car is in 3rd. The black, mainly black car with the gold on the side, that's 4th. 5th is Ewan Bohr in the red, white and black car. And they are the top 5 in the pro category. In 6th, the R&B Racing black and purple car. You should... Oh, hang on a second. Was that a replay from the first race? That's exactly what we saw somebody do down in that corner. And I think it was Ewan Bohr from memory who did that. So again, he brakes so late for that hairpin. He's catching himself and his competitors out, and he had to avoid contact there. Now let's look further down the field. Jebsen Racing, the number 55, last year's champion team, Gao Yujia. In the white and blue car. Slight change to their livery this year, but we can still recognise that one. Meantime, Zheng Zhendong in 3rd position, just dropping away from Daniel Lu Wenlong a little bit. I do think Daniel has got some fresher tyres and he's set off in pursuit of our leader, Liu Ye. So now the battle is for 3rd. 3 cars there. Daniel goes through. Then Zheng Zhendong. Right in behind there is the Porsche Holding Toyue. Sitting in there. Ooh, bit of a defensive move by the Jebsen 55 down the inside as Gao Yujie is trying to defend the 7th position. He's got the battle for 2nd and 3rd in his mirrors in Pro-Am, and was that a little bit of rain on the camera as well over the start-finish line? 15% chance of rain. I was trying to be optimistic and say 85% chance of being dry. Now, was that just on our camera from the 22 of Lin Kang's BT group car? Didn't look like... Oh, no, it's raining. I was about to say it didn't look like there was much on the windscreen. Halfway through the race then, and maybe the weather is going to play a part here. That number 6, Bajin Long for Team Shanghai Yonda. That's 8th position. Min Hung right in behind. Tries down the inside. Well, this is a good drive back from Lin Kang, who is trying to fight past Bajin Long. There he goes. That's at turn 19 and 20, coming back onto the start-finish line into the second half of the race now. The 55 on the pit wall is Gao Yujie, Team Jebsen machine with the white top and blue sides. And he's at the head of a big battle for 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. But as I said before, some of those are Pro-Am cars. Henry Kwong is leading the Am category in 14th position. Actually, that's the 91 in that scrap, or close to it at least. Number 91 is the blue, yellow and red car that you can see in the background. Little mistake at turn 9 and 10. This is where we go onto the public road. Now, the public road won't have the same grip in semi-damp conditions as the racetrack will. Oh, and a bit of a mistake. Oh, that's so annoying. Just missed the braking point by what? Half a car's length? Goes wide at turn 11. Still that 55 car, the cork in the bottle at the moment, with Lucky Lo and Min Hung and the number 2 car of Zhou Bei Wong all in there. 66 down the inside, that's Min Hung for Toro Racing. Very distinctive colour scheme there with the maroon or crimson front and the grey centre part of that car. There's Henry Kwong in the background in the multicoloured car. Oh, Ewan Bour's been off. Ewan Bour's been off at the chicane before the last 2 corners. Oh, he's got a problem. That car was not tracking straight. Has he hit something? But he's having to pit. Ewan Bour into the pits. Oh, that's a shame. He'd fought his way back through. He had the problem early on, remember, in the race yesterday, but a much cleaner start. Lu Wei with windscreen wiper working now as the rain is coming down heavier on that far side of the circuit. Min Hung battling with Hong Shudze, and Hong Shudze goes through in the CSD racing car. Nice drive from the number 17 driver. It's the one with the red swoosh on the side. Toro Racing in behind. Now back onto the public road. 2/3 way through the race, and this battle is still going on. Right in behind them, Henry Kwong's getting a grandstand view of that pass back for position. And that is for 4th and 5th in the Am category ahead of him. He's leading the Pro-Am in that multicoloured car. Oh, they've come together at turn number 15, coming back onto the racing circuit. Oh, that is unfortunate to say the least. 66 Min Hung and the 17 of Hong Shudze. Henry Kwong did well to avoid that just as they were coming back towards the racing circuit. Neither of those cars are going to continue. Well, it looked to me as though Hong Shudze did not realise that Min Hung was there on his left-hand side. Took the racing line, wiped the nose of the 66 car, and that pitched the 17 car into the wall. That's going to bring out our take-on safety car. And with time to think about here, that is a lot of clear up to do in an area of the circuit where it's not easy for the marshals to get to safely. So unfortunately, for safety reasons, the clear-up's still going on. We will have the checkered flag with the double-waved yellows, and it will be a 4th win of the season for Liu Ye and Shunxi Racing. The safety car's pulled away, but the race is still neutralised. Daniel Lu Wenlong takes 2nd ahead of Chou Wei in the 86 in 3rd. Those top 3 all pro class, and what a 4th position for the number 4 Lu Wei, who wins the Pro-Am category. That 777 Shunxi racing car probably could drive itself to first place in Parc Fermé. 4 race starts this season and 4 race wins. His pole position run, blighted by the fact that he went off track in the single qualifying session earlier in the weekend and had to start from second today. That didn't make a lot of difference when Lin Kang couldn't get off the line again, squandered that front row pole position opportunity. But round 4 once again has been all about Liu Ye, who's with Jade.
I had a very good get off, and Lin Kang was never good at start, so we got a chance. We grabbed the chance. Then I saw Daniel Lu was inside. He's trying to dive in, and they contact. So when I look at the mirror, Dong Dong was already behind me. So I was like, okay, the race is done. Then I saw Daniel Lu overtook him and started to chase, and the weather starts to get tricky. I hate this weather. Like, tiny rain, but you don't know when it's gonna get heavy. Some part of the track in some stage of the race, I think it's getting pretty heavy, so I can't feel on the brake, so I was really conservative. And I saw Daniel was catching up, so I pushed a little bit again, so make myself safe. So overall, it's a very good weekend again for my team. Everybody did a good job. We have a perfect car again, so now we have a very good lead in the championship, so we can be very calm towards the rest of the season.
Do you know, I think I might as well just record the first bit of our confirmation of results. 4 rounds and 4 wins for Liu Ye. Shunxi Racing, the 777, once again on the top step of the podium ahead of Daniel Lu Wenlong and Choi Yue. What that does for the overall championship, well, Liu now with 105 points to Daniel Lu Wenlong's 74. Lin Kang really did not make the best of his opportunities this weekend. He's in 3rd on 62 points. In Pro-Am, it's another win for Lu Wei. He was 4th overall. He's got a 20-point lead over Bao Jinlong in 2nd in the Pro-Am Championship, and Zhou Bi Wong is another 20 points back in 3rd. As for the AM Championship, well, Tang Robin there, down in 2nd position, but he still increased his lead in the championship. Henry Kwong in 11th took the AM top step of the podium, and he moves within a point of his brother. Now, they are just 7 and 8 points behind Tang Robin, who leave Tianjin at the head of the AM Championship. In other news, Jackie Wu made up another 6 positions and finished in 16th, just ahead of the number 65 of Xu Xiao for Team KRC. Yeah, some of those cars didn't finish, but the golden rule is get the car at the checkered flag if you want some points. Two wins for Henry Kwong in the AM category, and his championship challenge is back on track. In Pro-Am, it's another win for Liu Wei. He's on 99 points in the championship, and he'll take a comfortable lead away from Tianjin. But once again, it's been a weekend that is full of congratulations for the domination of Shunxi Racing and Liu Ye. That's another victory trophy for his mantelpiece. V1 Tianjin International Circuit has provided great racing, action and excitement for rounds 3 and 4 of the 2022 Porsche Carrera Cup. Thanks to our team on site, I'm John Hindorf. See you at the next one.
It's time now to wind the clock back to 2020 and head across the ditch to Pukekohe Park Raceway in Auckland, New Zealand. It's round 1 of the 2020-2021 Ryco 24/7 NZ V8 Ute Series, and we pick up the action with race 2.
24/7 V8 Utes. The drama overnight is Brett Main, one of the Ryco drivers, is out after they had mechanical problems. They worked overnight till midnight to rebuild their ute, but then they left out one sensor, a crank sensor. Unfortunately, he's missed it, so it's going to be David Lowe in the reverse top 10. He's going to be starting on pole along with Stu Monteith, and then Simon Usher, Brett Rudd, Peter Ward, James Parker, one of the newbies. What a great drive from the rookie in P6, Andrew Porter, Matt Spratt. Then I'm going to go back to Glenn Collinson and Paul Manuel. So then, of course, Liam Porter, Greg Croft, one of the newbies as well. Roger Nees all the way from Kaiapoi, number 811. That's his lucky number 8. His wife Pam is lucky number 11. That's where we get the 811. Joe Farr all the way from Las Vegas. Paul Frazier, one of the newbies. He did a ride day and decided to go racing. Had a great day yesterday. Saw him karting and all the stuff today. And of course, number 16, Brett Main, unfortunately out of this particular race. But a lot of those newbies, the one thing I said to them, how you going, is having a blast.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome, which is great, which is what it's all about.
The Utes are a lot of fun. It's just like a big family down there, and especially now with Ryco on board, everybody sits back and relaxes in the Ryco pit, and everybody's in for a good day.
One guy who's not going to be relaxed is Dave Lowe. He's on the pole position here, first time on pole in the Ryco Ute. Number 82, he's never been in that situation. He was saying, Brownie, I wish, like in the horse racing, they have the harness, the mobile harness racing, and they have the big wings out the side. He said, well, I need one of those. And to establish some Ryco rules, no passing until after the first lap, he says. I want to make the most of the situation. Starting on pole for the first time. So it's the Ryco 24/7 V8 Utes Championship, race 2 of the weekend. Lots of pressure also. It's got Stu Monteith and the Trade Depot Ute alongside him in P2. Further back, we've got number 94, Simon Usher, Brett Rudd. A little bit of drama as they getting into the right pit spot, trying to work that out. So just getting them sorted onto the right starting position. Wayne Hughes there, doing a great job. He's the man, just talking to one of the flag marshals. So just getting everything set to go. Got to say a great job done by all the volunteers, and thanks very much to all the flag marshals and all the volunteers to make motorsport happen in an event like this. Great side here, Pukekohe, in the sunshine. Track temperature around about that 40 degrees now, so it's certainly starting to heat up. This is the nervous part for these drivers, and especially nervous for Dave Lowe, starting on pole for that first time.
It's very fitting to have Ryco as a naming rights sponsor and have the Ryco Ute off pole position.
Yes, certainly is. Can he nail it? Stu Monteith outside, followed by Usher, Rudd, Ward, Parker, Porter, Spratt, Collinson, Manuel, the top 10. Revs are up. Oh, he's gone quick. He's gone too quick. He's blown the start. Stu Monteith, 2 of them onto the grass. They're all over the place. We've got drama. Liam Porter, who is that? Andrew Porter, one of them. And I think it's Matt Spratt that's been speared off into the side of the fence in the grass. So I think it was Stu Monteith who jumps the start. He went before the red lights went out. Then all chaos happened. And now they're down the back straight. And yes, it's Matt Spratt, the number 1 defending champion of the Tyre Works FG Ford Falcon, and he's hit the wall. So that's not a good sign. Dramatic start. Let's take a look at the replay. So from the start, you'll see Stu Monteith, he's jumped the start, number 90. He suddenly realises, backs it up. Because he does that, the other cars are streaming through. One of them moves over, they get clipped. There's a ricochet effect. Andrew Porter's sideways, and poor old Matt Spratt just gets shunted out onto the grass, and that wheel looks damaged. What do you think?
Yeah, it was pretty messy. Parker got a really good start, and he came up in between the 2 of the FGs, and he got a bit of an FG sandwich and got stuck in between, and then they just ricocheted off each other, and poor Matt just got caught out there. So hopefully the boys have got a few arms or something in the pits, and the SRT team can get that back together and join on the back of the race.
So that super safety car on a Sunday is getting a big workout along with our recovery team as we take another look at the replay live on Sky Sport here today. So poor old Stu, he realised he's made the mistake. The other cars are just trying to muscle their way through, so Porter just clips as there's just no room there. 2 or 3 wide getting off the start. And poor old Matt Spratt from Tauranga, he's got some issues there at the number 1 defending champion Ute. So yeah, into the wall, and it's like a busted right arm. Great sight, the super safety car, but we don't want to see it that much.
So Brett Rudd's made some really good gains on those first few laps. He's got himself into pole position for the restart. So he started a little bit further back in the field, so he's done well to make up 3 or 4 spots there.
One of 4 drivers from Pukekohe enjoying the chance to race just down the road, around the corner. They were joking yesterday that one of them might have whipped home for a cup of tea and grabbed some supplies and then came back to the track.
Yeah, I heard a rumour that 2 of them went home because they live local and swim in their pool, had a refresh, change of clothes and came back and did it all again.
That is such Kiwiana, isn't it? Racing Kiwi style. Only we can do that. Kiwi can. Gotta love that Kiwi can attitude. Or even the Aussie can attitude.
So the guys here, as they follow the safety car around, they'll be keeping their tyres warm, trying to keep the brakes warm, just so they can make the jump on the restart. As they clean Matt off the main straight, they'll gather it all together, keep the temp up and go again.
So it was a 12-lapper. Now it's going to be a restart under safety car. Great to have some of the new guys in the field, guys that have just come through out of different classes, like the 2K Cup, like watch out for James Parker, number 10. He's done a bit of motor racing, he can drive. There's a very disappointed Matt Spratt walking back over to pit lane, so it's just not one of the days for him.
Yeah, Matt's the reigning champion from last year, so he would have been really trying to just save all the championship points, so that's really going to hurt him having a DNF on this one.
The weight of these utes, they're around about 1825 for the FG Ford Falcons, and the VE and the BFs around about 1800. So they're pretty heavy, pretty wild when they get loose around the rear. But so far, I think all the drivers, as Paul Manuel was telling me, where they've done the resurfacing around there, you come around out of the hairpin into that fast left, and then it's just understeer going into the hill, and then all of a sudden the new seal kicks in. Did you find that in the Camry?
Yeah, I did. You're not really sure how much to trust it. Then you kind of get over the other side of the bump and you're like, wow, I can go a lot faster through here.
It's funny you said the word trust. That's exactly what he said, because that's so important when you're, you know, making friends with your car. And understand your team are very impressed. Of course, Alexandra Whitley doing our comments today here live on Sky, because she's raced in the Utes and picked up a win here in the Utes at Pukekohe, created history for the women racers. But the team from the Tony Richards Toyota team racing in the B&T V8s and the Camry, they were very impressed because you were down there washing and polishing your car.
Yeah, that's right. It's all part of it. You know, if you dirty it, you clean it. And, you know, I've always been brought up to work really hard. And the least I can do for the team is to get all the bugs off and take any marks off and clean some wheels.
57 at the tail of the field, Paul Frigier from Ponsonby's the engineer. He's the dude that builds those rubbish trucks. He came along and decided to go racing. Absolutely loves it. One of the guys with a smile on his dial after the first day racing of the Ryco 24/7 V8 Utes, and the rookies having a great time. But here's the pellet man, 99, Brett Rudd. He is determined to make the most, and I've got to say the new livery of the car is absolutely dead set sensational. Looking very, very smart. His old man started that company 35 years ago. He said, son, there'll always be a need for pellets. In fact, another one of the guys, his grandfather started the company, and they're still doing it. You got Greg Kroof is doing a dredging firm as well. So lots of family connections. The lights are out and the Supra safety car heads back towards pit lane. We are set to go racing. Back again. And watch out for the local man, Brett Rudd. Watch out for James Parker. David Lowe still in there in the top three. Will he handle the pressure? Collinson, Ward, Usher, Porter, Manuel. Stu, we jumped the start. Porter, Farr, Roger Nees, Kroof and Frigier, Matt Spratt out. So set to go racing. The revs are up, the nerves are up. They can't pass until they get past that control line. They've got to wait for the green flag. They've got the green flag. Look at Parker straight away down the outside, putting the pressure on Rudd. The Ryco man holding on from Glenn Collinson, who sweeps around the outside, followed by Wardy. So no surprises there. Brett Rudd gets off to a good start. James Parker settles into second. Collinson up to third. Ward up to fourth. Here comes the super freight of another one of the Pukekohe racers who won the first race, Paul Manuel. Down the back straight of Pukekohe, good restart.
Yeah, excellent restart by Paul. Brett's done really well too. He's got a bit of a jump on them. And Paul made a few spots up the main straight, and you can see him lining it up there for the back straight as well. Good,
hard, fast racing, plenty of room and respect yesterday. Although one guy said it's not like the Utes, turn it up, but I said their actual driving standards over the years has really improved, and it's not so much of the biff, bash and crash. It's actually take your chance, bit of racing room, give each other respect. If it's there, send it. If it's not, just wait till the next one.
Yeah, that's right. That's what racing's all about. Be hard but fair. And these guys have put a lot of effort into making the utes look really good for this season. So they don't want to go out there and crash them all and have damage. And damage only costs money. But Brett's doing a really good job there, holding the field off. He's got a nice little gap there back to second place as Paul Manuel's on the charge, who's looking at the back of that Ward Demolition ute, hoping he misses a gear and he can get through.
One of the exciting things about reverse grid races, it gives guys a chance to actually get out to the front. He may not be able to get a win when it's just all about the need for speed and the fast guys starting from pole, but straight away you get guys like Brett Rudd up there in contention. You've got James Parker in contention, Peter Ward, he's right in contention, but you know you got Glenn Collinson, who was very, very fast out of Hamilton last year. Paul Manuel, Porter, Lowe's been in that top 7, so opportunities, and that's what you did last year when you took your chance too, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. We had some great races here at Pukekohe, and this is where we got our win for the season. So it was great to get that win on the board and give the boys a hard time.
Were you nervous in those reverse grid races? And you know you've got a chance to, get up there, make the most of it. Do you get a bit more anxious sometimes? Hopefully not.
I think that you always get a little bit nervous. It's just as to how much of the nerves it is. But if you're not nervous, then you shouldn't be doing it because you're not enjoying it anymore. But the reverse top 10 races are great because if you have a bad one, it gives you a chance to catch up. And it also gives the learners a chance to be up the front and race hard with the fast guys.
David Lowe further back down the field. You just got a shot of the back of him getting a little bit sideways coming out of the hairpin. He'll be under attack now. But it's Rudd coming under attack from a very cool looking car, number 17, Collinson. James Parker, one of the rookies, the rookie of contention so far for that title. He's looking really sharp in number 10, but he's being monstered by Peter Ward, one of the characters in the field. Send it, Paul Manuel. Oh, how good was that? He's done the Beardo. Beardo would be dead set proud of that move. He ripped it over the ripple strip, down the inside, around turn 4, and straight down the exit speed, coming onto the back straight, nailed it. Great stuff.
Parker's just thinking, thank God I got a bit of a break here as Glenn tries to go around the outside of Brett. Brett locks up a little bit. They'll go too wide through the next turn.
Setting themselves up for the inside dash down to turn 7. Rudd's going to hold on to that at the 99 ute. 17, Glenn Collinson, he's going to go out wide. He'll try and do the old switcheroony. Let him go up, duck down, try and get the crisscross, then get the drive out of here. Now it's all about this bumpy left-hander, which is not quite so bumpy as it was before.
No, it's much better. The Hamilton Asphalt guys have done an excellent job tidying up the track in a few spots.
You used to see the cars actually literally bounce to the right when they swept around there. Here they are, 2 by 2 up and over the hill. Oh, big bold stuff here.
Yeah, they're drag racing down the main straight, and Parker's just thinking, you beauty, you guys just keep fighting and I'll catch onto the back of you here. Yeah,
it's going to be a 4-way freight train there. Parker doing a great job and under pressure from Paul Manuel. Collinson grabs the lead from Rudd. Down through the S's, on to turn 4. He's done it once, thought about it, pulled it back in the Super Freight ute.
Yeah, Paul's looking very, very racy. He had a really good race yesterday. He went from pole to win the race. So he'll be trying to do a clean sweep this weekend. And if he can keep it calm and cool and pick his battles, he might just get there.
James Parker, number 10, one of the business partners of Bruce Gray. 2 guys who decided to go racing, doing a good job. Although, what? He cut the corner or what? Just leapt over the curve.
Yeah, Paul might have to say a few sorries there. That was a little bit sneaky, that one.
And then all of a sudden, Andrew Porter, the man that came on with a lot of momentum towards the end of last year, picked up the FG Ford Falcon and ported that out of Aussie because they know that Matt Spratt with that extra speed was certainly the man to beat. So he's joined that gang, and a really nicely prepared ute. One of the guys out of course, Jake Stoneman doing a superb job preparing a lot of these utes.
The FG's really had a little bit of edge over the Holdens last year, but with the new rule changes, they've taken those rubber bushes out of the suspension, and that's really improved the handling of the ute because you don't get that squishy and looseness anymore.
Moving it wide, Wardy in 69, trying to make up ground coming out of turn 1. Down the inside, Porter, he sends it inside James Parker. Parker just lets him go, and that's smart by the rookie. You don't want to get mixing up with too many other guys too early. As they come steaming down the straight, Glenn Collinson in the 17 car out of Hamilton Panorama Motorsport. Loves the sport. He's doing the endurance series as well, so they use that to get this tweaked up. New livery, doing a great job. Paul Manuel up to second, he's got past Rudd. Porter up to fourth, coming out of the hairpin.
Paul will just be pushing the limit to that ute. The tyres will be screaming and he'll just be wanting to get past Glenn because he started 10th in this race. So if he just makes that one more position, it'll be very impressive to see if he can make that 10 to first.
Up and over the hill here at Pukekohe. Down towards the start-finish line and checkered flag time. Collinson gets the win. Manuel screams home for second. Rudd will take third. Porter fourth. Ward fifth. James Parker fifth, actually. Peter Ward sixth. And we'll see if Lowe can hang on for 7. Simon Usher 8. Stu Monteith 9. And Liam Porter 10 as they cross the finish line. So good skills there for Glenn Collinson. Charged his way back up through the field from that reverse grid race. And he'll take the win. So well done for the man out of Hamilton, one of the many petrol heads coming out of the Tron. So Glenn Collinson gets the win. Paul Manuel from Pukekohe second, Brett Rudd from Pukekohe third, Andrew Porter from just down the road in Auckland in fourth, James Parker, Peter Ward, Lowe, Usher, Stu Monteith and Liam Porter, son of Andrew. Good to see him getting a result inside that top 10. It's going to be a showdown between Paul Manuel from Pukekohe and Glenn Collinson from Hamilton, because the two guys are basically tied on the same points, but Paul Manuel's going to be the local man, starting on pole.
Yeah, that's right. So he got pole position in the qualifying session, so he wins the pole for this final race in the event of it being a point tie when they form up the grid. Otherwise, it's the guy with the most points that will take pole position. But both of those guys, Clint, been extremely fast here throughout the recent years. Glenn's won here, Paul's won here. They're expected front runners this year, and I was super impressed with the way both of them came through the pack this morning from what was 9th and 10th on the grid.
Just behind them, watch out for Andrew Porter and Brett Ruddersby. Take a look at that starting grid now for the third and final showdown for the Ryco 24/7 V8 Utes. Manuel and Collinson on the front row, Porter and Rudd on the second row, James Parker and Peter Ward on row 3. Then it's Simon Usher and David Lowe did a great job in row 4 from the last race. Liam Porter, Stu Monteith. I'll tell you a bit about him after he jumped the start. He's on target for a special prize. Matt Spratt, Joe Farr, one of the rookies in the field, Roger Nees along with Greg Cruyff and Paul Fougere. So Stu Monteith, after dropping that start and jumping the start, he's on target for the chocolate fish, I think.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, look, you know, when you look back at it, the obvious thing to do is keep the boot in and take the penalty later. But, you know, he did what probably most people would do and think, oh, I've made a mistake, I'll back off. But obviously the pack had already got underway at that stage, and it caused a lot of bunching and a few dramas, and not least Matt's retirement from it.
Yes, and old Paul Manuel's been calling him Pid ever since slinging off, because that's part of the camaraderie and the banter you get as they line up for the third and final showdown in the Ryco 24/7 V8 Utes. It's going to be and conditions have certainly cooled off. Luckily the rain has held off. It's overcast and cloudy. Great looking cars this year in the field. Some newcomers, but it's some of those top contenders lining up in the front row of the grid. Manuel, Collinson, Porter, Rudd, the new rookie Parker, best of the bunch at this moment. Usher, Lowe and Porter and Stu Monteith. Revs are up. Waiting for the red lights. Just about set now. Ryco 24/7 V8 Utes, race 3, Pukekohe. Hard to start these cars. Got to avoid the wheel spin and avoid bogging it down. One red light, 2, 3, 4, 5. Revs are up. Lights are out. Racing. Good start by the top 4. Manuel, using all of his experience, takes the inside line down into turn 1 from P1. Rudd settling in behind Ward. Porter got bogged down. Collinson settles into second. So Paul Manuel straight away, the man from Pukekohe, as they single file through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4 onto the back straight. Good clean start.
Yeah, good drag race for the first two. I was watching grid 2 position, Clint. It's been favouring drivers today. There've been a lot of good getaways from there. Glenn got a good getaway, seemed to have a few feet on Paul going into turn 1, but Paul had the majority of the line and just shut the door, took the inside. He's locked up there at turn 7, 6.
Going into the complex for the first time, and it's Smokey and the Bandit as they swing wide. Peter Ward, the demolition man. Paul Manuel straight away coming under pressure from Glenn Collinson. Rudd settles back into third. Porter regains from his delayed start, you could say, back up into the top 4, making his move past Ward and James Parker, who's hung out to dry. The top 6 up and over the hill for the first time. Lap 10. It's a 10-lapper, so it's going to be a great showdown in the Utes. But it's all about the experience and the coolness and the calmness of Paul Manuel, who maintains that lead, followed by Collinson, Brett Rudd, Porter coming under pressure from Ward. Great battle between the FG Ford Falcon and the VE Commodore, all over the bumper. Talking to Paul Manuel before, the funny thing was, Richard, he said, I've raced here for 28 years. So how many laps is that? That's thousands of laps around Pukekohe. And he said, you know what the funny thing is? Every lap as he gets the twitch and the tweak going into turn 5 is always different.
Yeah, what I found interesting talking to a couple of the other drivers today was how impressed they were with his speed over the new tarmac over the hill there. He seems to have used a lot of that knowledge that he's had over the last 28 years to really get a handle on how hard he can go over there, and he was even impressing the other drivers with his pace over the hill today. Impressive
recovery here from number 1, the defending champion Matt Spratt, working his way back up through the field, charging up past number 90. That's our man Stu, and then of course you've got Usher as well, the Ryco man Dave Lowe, so working their way back up through some of the 2 or 3 year guys that are into it. That's Liam Porter, son of Andrew Porter, 21-year-old enjoying his racing, but there is the Super Freight Holden of Paul Manuel, opening up a nice cushion over Glenn Collinson. Big battle now between Rudd and Porter. Brett Rudd out of Pukekohe, and of course Andrew Porter from the Porter Group out of Auckland.
And in a Ford this year, so just a great driver, really. You know, over the categories he's raced in, and since he came into this category, he's been competitive, and now he's swapped brands and
got to get the pass done as they go down the back straight and nails it going into 5. So Porter back onto the charge, the man who finished the year with lots of momentum, doesn't he?
Yeah, look, he's very fast. He's very fast everywhere. Could be a threat in the championship this year in that Ford.
Number 10, James Parker, one of the new guys. Got good experience though. Has raced Mazdas before and other forms of car, and shows his good car control coming out of the hairpin. But the best of the rookies, and really enjoying it. And the good thing is, Richard, all the new guys are having an absolute blast, really enjoying the racing.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with James. Like, these are experienced Ute racers. If you look at Ruddy and Wardy, they've got 10 years plus experience in this category. For him to be hanging on to them in a genuinely different track that's quite challenging this weekend with the heat on the new tarmac, you've got to be impressed.
8-11 there is Roger Nees, because he's one of the rookies. He's done lots of speedway racing out of Kaiapoi. 8 is his lucky number. His wife Pam is 11. That's her lucky number, so that's why he's got 8-11 on that ute, the red ute, out of Christchurch. Paul Fougier fell in love after a ride day with Wardy, and that's why he's picked up one of the
not hard to do. Not hard to do.
Super Freight man coming out of the TA2 victory in Asia, and of course his teammate was Jalen Robobotham from TR86s, so he's just won that round. So can Paul, his other teammate, take out the round in the V8 Utes?
Well, you wonder how much time they've spent with each other poring over simulators around here, etc. But just seeing that Paul's edged out a couple of seconds on Glenn. I mean, it's a long race, 9 laps. Tyres will have a chance to degrade in this. They are using the best of what they've got left from the weekend. So tyre, always go on about it, but tyre wear could come into it later on in the race. That's Joe Farah there just having a big sideways moment out of the exit of the hairpin. Just
94, Simon Usher had a moment in qualifying, but he's bounced back. Dave Shaggy Lowe, number 12, doing a good job. The Ryco man, that's the United man, 94 from Simon Usher out of Pukekohe, one of 4 races from Pukekohe Racing this weekend. 82, Dave Lowe, he said the only time someone passed me before was, or when I passed someone, was when the other guy had a spin. But he's done a great weekend in the Ryco 24/7 ute, really enjoying it, making up for the fact that poor Brett Main, they did the motor last night and left the part out, couldn't get it back on the track today.
And to do Dave justice, I mean, he was propping up the rear last year mainly, but he's really come on leaps and bounds over the off-season and is well stuck in the front end of the midfield this weekend, so he's done well.
Brett Rudd doing a great job, number 99, and 69, Peter Ward, a fantastic character, huge supporter of the series, and James Parker in the Meditech Techno ute doing a great job. There's Spratt really trying to work hard, isn't he? Up to P7.
He's coming back into the picture. He's certainly going to form part of this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th over the last few laps.
Love the way in which a couple of business partners actually got into the ute racing. James Parker, number 10, and 39, Bruce Gray. Gray having a bit of experience in the 2K Cup, and here they are mixing up with the likes of Wardy, the pellet man, Brett Scott. And as we saw towards the season last year, because it's a 4-round championship, really good driving standards too this year, isn't it? Smooth and fast, plenty of racing room and lots of respect.
Well, it's essential. I mean, if you think about it, the shorter the championship, the more you need to finish every race relative to your opposition. So the driving standards become more important. You know, there's no point in engaging in that kind of scrap if you're going to end up putting yourself off the road and out of the race. Points are more important.
Fastest man out there at the moment, Paul Manuel in the Super Freight Holden VE Commodore, a 16.3. Porter's done a 16.3 in the FG Ford Falcon. Glenn Collinson, a 16.4. So here comes Porter. Watch out, Collinson. So that first battle group of 3, and then we've got a battle group of 4. Matt Spratt making the charge. He's the 4th fastest out there, so he's really going to put the squeeze on Parker, Rudd and Ward. So this is going to change over the next couple of laps. 5 to go, plenty of time, because now they've just got into a real good rhythm.
And so outside of Manuel's car, what I'll draw from that is that the FGs are at this stage making more of the tyres, so they're all on the move at the moment. So Glenn, Andrew and Matt are all clocking really decent times, but Paul Manuel still seems to have the edge, perhaps because of his experience. Maybe he knows a trick up on the setup of that Holden or 2 round here.
Well, he loves that, loves this track, Pukekohe, as I said. Imagine how many thousands of laps he's done after 28 years of racing around here in a variety of V8s and utes. Using all of his experience, he thinks the new resurfacing is absolutely fantastic. You can do the understeer and let it grip up and away you go. So here comes the battle, isn't it?
Matt Spratt having a look at his favourite place for passing here down the inside of Parker. I think he'll make that one stick. Yep. He's very regular at making a pass attempt into that new section on the back straight, and he knows it well now.
FAB Parker, well done, James. Lets the defending champ go through. So now Matt Spratt's ticked that one off. He's got Ward and Rudd in his sights on the comeback trail. After they had a DNF in that last race, he knows that's costly. This is all about points for him, to get as many points as he can, to get as high up as he can.
Well, he simply has to try and get past these 2. He's got to mitigate the problem of not having any points this morning, and passing these 2 and getting maybe 15, 20 more points than he would have done is a big deal for him, and he's certainly quicker than the 2 guys ahead of him at the moment. I think Wardy has been looking for a way past Brett for a couple of laps now, but what it has done is allowed Matt to come charging into the picture in the FG there. So expect another challenge down this back straight, probably into Matt's favourite part into the complex, as he did on the previous lap. Let's see if he has a look down the inside of Wardy, Clint.
That's Liam Porter. 90 is Stu Monteith in the Trade Depot ute. 94 Simon Usher as well, just behind him, another one of the Pukekohe guys. They've got their own battle. Here's the other guys towards the back down rear of the field.
There he goes.
Whoa, Wardy holds on. Spratt has a look down the inside of turn 6. Bounces over the ripples. Lines him up. Ward says you're going to have to work hard, though, taking the spot from me around the hairpin.
Yeah, I thought it was coming, but it had the net effect, really, of giving Brett Rudd half a car length of breathing space.
Take a look at the Speedworks replay, using all of that corner. Wardy holding on as Spratt went deep, hard and late, squeezed under the braking, bounced over the ripples. And all this meanwhile is letting Manuel, Collinson and Porter race away in the top three as this battle pack goes for 4, 5 and 6. And they're holding up Matt Spratt at the moment. That's what Rudd's doing anyway, and then Ward, because they're making, if you want to get past us, Matt, you're going to have to go the hard way. So it's a real good scrap.
Just looking at the front two, Glenn's carved back into Paul Manuel's lead in the last lap or so. 1.3 seconds now, so he's taken 7/10 off him, but he's still over a second behind as we head towards the closing stages of the race, Clint.
And as we expected, Porter's now closing in on 17. Glenn Collinson, pull up to the bumper, lining each other up, down and towards the hairpin for the second to last time.
I'm expecting fireworks here, Clint. These two have had some awesome battles over the last 2 or 3 years.
And Andrew Porter certainly, great bit of drifting and car control. Certainly had a lot of momentum coming off the back end of the last season.
But it's cost him 3 or 4 car lengths, that, Clint, so it's definitely sideways. Looks good, but it's not the fastest way around. Wardy also sideways.
Look how Parker, the newbie number 10, is keeping up with these other guys, so watch out for him in the battle with 3 more rounds to go. And last lap now for the Super Freight Holden Commodore of Paul Manuel. Glenn Collinson holding on from second and still under pressure from Andrew Porter as they ride the ripples. Porter trying to do a Beardo, ducking down into turn 4. Collinson shuts the door as they run it wide onto the ripples, down the back straight for the last time. Here's the next 3 through the S's. Who's going to make a move here? Spratt touches Wardy. Little bit of rubbing and racing and knocks his way up into the next spot.
Parker looks like he's going to take advantage of that. Peter lost some momentum going into the corner.
Manuel down the back straight. Take a look on the Speedworks replay as Matt Spratt just muscles his way. A slight touch there. Good rubbing and racing, and Wardy gives up the spot onto the back straight. Back down towards the lead. Paul Manuel in control. Coming out of the hairpin. Oh,
ready off.
The Rudd's had a spin. He's had a moment. That's going to open up the door for the other guys, but it's Paul Manuel in number 15. He took out the first race of the weekend, and he's going to take out the weekend and do a double with his teammate JR on the 86s. So well done. Paul from Pukekohe gets the job done. Collinson holds on for second, and Andrew Porter steams home for third. Matt Spratt's going to make his way all the way up to fourth. That's a great recovery for the defending champ. James Parker having a great battle with Wardy down to the line. We'll see what happens with the Speedworks replay. James Parker, deep and hard. Contact there. Was it between Rudd and Matt Spratt? I'm not sure.
Could well have been. I think Matt had enough momentum going into that last lap to have a go there, which is where he's been passing people all weekend.
So confirming the result, the third and final showdown, Paul Manuel gets his second win of the weekend to take out the round win. Opening round of the 24, of course, the Ryco 24/7 V8 Youths Championship. Glenn Collinson, always a contender. Second and 17, Andrew Porter rounds out the top 3. Matt Spratt, Parker, Ward, Rudd, Porter, Stu Monteith and Simon Usher rounding out the top 10.